life. Not waste more time.
ọmọọba ni kò ṣẹrú. ó wá sáyé ọmọọba ni kò ṣẹrú. ó wá sáyé kò ṣẹ̀wọ̀n.
ó yá akéde mo fẹ́ délé bàbá tó bí lọ́mọ.
ọmọọba ni kò
bàbá
ṣẹrú.
mi ò gbànígbà ní ojú ọ̀nà ó ṣe gbámú. kò sán gírí lágírí ọ̀la gírí làgà. àkókò àrẹ́rẹ́ rẹ̀ bàbá mi ò wọ kẹbẹ̀rẹ̀ jìjọ. jagun olóòdì ọ̀rọ̀ apá láti jó tọ̀hún tọ̀hún.
Hello, everyone. Hello, and welcome to the MCT Nigeria User Group's African Master Grassroots Program. So I believe that we also have Mr. Sheyi on the line, but I think maybe we're experiencing some network issues. So first of all, let me apologize for the technical issues and the delay in the start of the program. So we had some technical issues that we're sorting out in the background. So that was what led to the delay. So apologies for that. For the delay in starting the program. So, but we're glad to be here. So we have an amazing lineup for you today. So this is a program where mentees connect with mentors, looking at the grassroots. So one of the favorite quotes that really drives what we do in this community is that if you look at our African technology landscape, there's a lot of untapped talent in the grassroots. And the purpose of this is to get the untapped talent connected to mentors.
Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to today's event, which is through the grassroots movement, which is trying to tap in from those that are less privileged, get them and being able to usher them in.
Yeah, so apologies for that. I think the technical issue is still going on. Mr. Sheyi, we can barely hear you. Your voice is breaking a lot. Okay. So what we're going to do is that let's go ahead and just again just introduce the event. So about the event, so again we mentioned that this is the event where experts connect with mentees, where you can get advice about IT and what you need to know about the current state of IT and the future from experts in different spaces in the industry, right? And also get to understand the digital workspace and what is new about the digital workspace. So before we get into the program for today, we do have different user groups in the West African communities. And we strongly encourage you to connect with the different groups. So if you do have an interest in joining any of the groups and you're not sure how to, just feel free to reach out to any of us on today's program, and we'll be happy to connect you with the right people and get you connected and hooked into the right group. So today we do have amazing. Also, we do have Sheyi Oluwawumiju, who we're currently experiencing some issues. I think he's experiencing some issues with the network connection, but hopefully that gets fixed and that gets sorted. So Sheyi is the founder of a consulting firm called Covenant Technologies in Nigeria. So where there's a lot of focus on SharePoint technologies, Microsoft Teams, Microsoft 365, Yammer, Microsoft Azure AI, and cloud technology. And Sheyi is sort of like a veteran in the tech industry in Nigeria. It's one of the very first MVPs that we have out of West Africa in general. And she is an all-round community guy, right? So I learn a lot from this guy whenever he speaks about the community. You can see the passion there. So hopefully the network connection will be fixed. Network issues will be fixed, and we'll be able to hear from Sheyi today. But also, I'll be assisting in the background. So my name is David Okeode. So I'm a cloud security architect, and some of you have probably heard me also speak at some of the other events in the past. So Sheyi, how are you doing? Are you back now? Oh no, so we're still experiencing some issues. Okay, anyways, let me go ahead and introduce our guest for today. So the first guest that we have for today that we're going to be hearing from is Michael Olafusi. So Michael, Mr. Yobizedge himself. So Michael is another one of the veterans in the industry. Is a 6 times Microsoft MVP. That's amazing. It's like MVP himself, right? If you're like 6 times MVP, you've become Mr. MVP yourself. So we're going to be hearing from Michael. So he works a lot in the data space, right? So it's mentioned he's addicted to Microsoft Excel, Power BI, business intelligence, and financial modeling. And we're looking forward to learn from Michael today. But also we have Mr. Kofi himself, or as I call him, Sir Kofi, right? So this guy is knighted by the Queen of England. I hope no one is going to come after me for that. But he is passionate about technology.
I think so, but
Oh, now, so we're still experiencing some issues with Sheyi's background stuff. But yeah, hopefully, like the network connection gets fixed. So again, Kofi has been in the industry for a while, so he has great experience in the cybersecurity space, working with cloud security, network security, and just all around like in the security space. We'll be hearing from Kofi. And last but not the least, we have Mr. Afeez Babatunde, who is a software developer. So he's a Microsoft certified data analyst, a Microsoft certified trainer. He works in software development, working with C#, PHP, and React frameworks. And again, just an all-round community person. So before we get into that, just to remind our audience that you can send in your questions. Put your questions that you have in the chat window, and we're going to pass that over to our guest today. So whether you have a question about if you're new to IT, you're thinking of changing career into the IT industry, or you need some certain guidance, feel free to put your question in the chat window, and we're going to be passing that to our guest for today. So enough about that. Let's go ahead and bring in our guest for today. So let's go to bring in our guest. So we have Mr. Michael, we have Sir Kofi, and we have Mr. Afeez. So how are you doing today, Mr. Michael? How are you doing?
Doing great. Thanks a lot. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, no, thanks very much. Thanks very much for joining us today. And we're looking forward to spending the time with you and just learning from your experience. And Sir Kofi, how are you doing also?
Yeah, I'm doing great.
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys invited me to this program.
Yeah, and how's the gold mining going? Are you
Yeah,
still
you know how
mining
it
gold?
goes.
Yeah, awesome. The gold man himself. And Mr. Afeez, how are you doing also? Mr. Afeez, are you there?
Hi, I'm with you.
Yeah, hello.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we know that you're in your we can't see your face, so you're probably counting some dollars. So we understand.
I don't know. I turned on my camera, but I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah,
see
that
my
happens. You don't want people to, see you counting dollars and all that stuff. Completely understandable. Okay, so let's get started with the first question for today to our guests. So here is the first question that we have for you. So, what's the best advice that you can give to help plan a career rather than simply work to keep a job? So you are all people that have accomplished great things in your IT career. So we have people on the line that are looking to either get into the IT industry or they are just starting in the IT industry. What would you recommend to them on how to plan their career so that it's not just going from one job to another, but they are going in a trajectory that they want to take their career? So I think we'll let Mr. Michael starts, we'll go to Mr. Kofi, and then we'll go to Mr. Fiz, and then we'll do it the other way around for the next question. So, Mr. Michael, over to you first.
Okay, okay. Thanks for the opportunity to start. And I would have loved to share a slide to answer, to pull up the answer.
Oh, if you want to share a slide, that's fine. If you share your screen, I'll just bring up the slide. That's fine.
Oh, okay, cool. Maybe then I let Mr. Kofi go then so that
okay.
I can pull up the slide. Okay, cool.
Okay, yeah. So let's hear from Mr. Kofi then. Hello, Sir Kofi. How you doing?
Hello. Thank you for having me on this this program. So this is an interesting question that I believe it would be useful for the grassroots. So I mean, when you ask about career, right? It's all about passion. You need a passion. This is one of the elements that will keep you going. Without passion, you're more likely to give up or even not start at all. So when it comes to IT as well, too, it's also we do a lot of problem solving. So you need that element, that passion to constantly see issues and then find solution to such problem. Having that mindset will definitely be a positive thing and will take you a long way. All the path in IT, I mean, whether programming, support role, infrastructure, etc., all of them, all these fields require some level of what solving a problem. You identify an issue, and then you need to provide a solution. So, for a successful career, those two things, the passion and the ability to um, see a problem and rectify it, is something that I think you need it if you want to get into the IT industry.
Oh, awesome. And in that light also, like, so when you started your career, like, what's your story? Like, how did you even get into like IT to begin with? Was that something that was part of like a plan that you had in the beginning? And how have you sort of navigated like this question in your own personal experience of how you've been handling the planning of your career?
Yeah. Right. Well, I mean, each time I'm asked this question, I do smile because to keep it simple, most of I mean, I was fortunate enough to have a computer at my home when I was in secondary school. My father bought a computer, and no one in the house really knew how to use a computer. I didn't know how to use this. My brothers did not know how to use a computer, and my father did not know how to use it as well. But he thought it's something that we need to learn. So, one of his travel to Europe, he bought a computer, brought it to the house. No one knew what to do with it. He got someone in the house to help fix, I mean, set it up for us. But funny thing is that the guy did not even know what he was doing himself. So he played with the computer for a few hours, and then he left. So when he left, I said, "No, the way this thing looks, right? Definitely, I need to get into it, understand how it works." So lucky enough, it was a brand new computer, so it came with some books, all right, some manual and other things. So I started digging into the books, and I realized, oh, okay, there's something called operating system. Okay, let me put the CD in there. That's the operating system. When I put it in, it started the installation process. It automated. So it finished the installation. It started working. I called my brothers. They were excited as I was. They said, "Oh, look, it's working." And but the funny thing is that there wasn't any sound and the graphics were terrible. So I said, okay, if we've managed to achieve this, then probably we can do more. So further reading, I realized that there was another thing called drivers for the graphics card and also drivers for the sound. Once I put a specific CD that installed these components, it started working. I said, wow, this is impressive. Right. So that kind of energy and enthusiasm made me like, okay, I have to carry on. This is something that I really love to do. So
Mm,
gradually I started picking a few things, installing new software,
mm,
games, and this set my career path.
mm.
So when it comes to my story, that's it. That there you go.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
amazing. And if I pick like the main thing that you're saying here is that enthusiasm is needed, right?
exactly.
Don't be afraid to put your hands into something that you may not understand yet to begin with, right?
That's
So
right.
just be enthusiastic and be willing to pick up things as you go on.
That's correct. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks very much for that. So, Mr. Michael, so I can see that
Okay.
we have your slide now. So,
Okay.
so yeah, the same question to you. So, what's the
Okay.
advice that you give on how to plan a career and not just go from job to job?
Awesome. So for me, this is the answer. This is actually a book by the co-founder of LinkedIn,
Mm,
and you probably will all know him, Reid Hoffman, and this other person, Ben Casnocha, is also a bit popular, but the LinkedIn one everybody resonates with. So for me, about maybe 9 years ago or so, I came across this, and it became like my Bible. I don't think my pastor would like to hear that. It became like my Bible for my career plan, and this is the whole breakdown. So if you
mm,
see, as number one is like, as again, this is, I try to pattern these, my starting my career, my concept of how I grew, or how I attempt to grow my career, and all of it came out of this. And I'm just, because it's really a large, I will share the link later on. It's a lot of things, but I will quickly just talk about it from here. So number one is the fact that I we are humans, so naturally, there's a human side to us. You don't want a career where for you it's all about numbers. Numbers could be money, could be hours of the day. You have somewhere you're going. You need to have something you're connected with. You need to do something that you have a passion for,
mm,
right? And then you need to think as an entrepreneur. Even if you work somewhere, if you don't like the job, you don't like the boss, things are not perfect, you should see it as the challenges that even people who start careers that they like, start businesses they like, nothing is always perfect. So, but you want to put your best into anything you're doing. Okay, so then the one I went to is the number to look at that particular thing that you have the most. There's difference between you have a passion for something, you have the competence too. So you try to pick what you have good. Well, might not be the best, but at least of all the things you could do, you have a competitive advantage, right?
mm,
So that's the other thing I did. That's how I landed in data analytics, and I'm
mm,
trying to do more of data science and finance fintech. But the key thing is that one. Then the other thing I did was to kind of have a plan.
mm,
Look at people who have gone ahead. Try
mm,
to study how their career path. You see a whole lot. Not everybody you can follow their path. So you want to start from people who maybe started from where you are. If I have a background that I think my background is a challenge to what I want to become, I look for people who have similar backgrounds and were able to go that mile, and were able to get to where I'm hoping to be. So
mm,
that's more like, have a plan that you're following. Things might be slow, but you know that you have a roadmap that you're following. Then have a network, be in a community. That's why I'm always like you mentioned when you were introducing Ogashe. I call him Ogashe. He's the epitome of network. Like
mm,
to him, it just comes natural. Like he can combine people from all corners of the world, and you will look at him and you'll be like, how did he do all of this? And then you'll be thinking maybe he has some huge resources that someone just loaded on him, or he has like some kind of a secret stuff. I think he has some secret things he used to catch people,
I think so too. I think so.
but
I think so.
but the thing is, I
I
try
can hear
to
you guys,
also
bro.
benefit.
I can hear you guys.
Oh, cool. I try to tap into that anointing, so association, go
Mm,
go far by association. The things I don't have, I try to absorb from other people. But you need a network. That's just the truth. You can't work in isolation. Even
mm,
if you're extremely good, people have to be able to mention you in the places that matter.
mm,
So, but especially when you are growing, that network will help you to be exposed. For me, at the start
mm,
of my career in 2012, when my first job in data analytics, my boss told me plain and direct. He said that I don't have any problem in terms of like what my career need lacks at that moment. He said the only thing I lack is exposure.
mm,
And he said it like he didn't even defend it. He said it like point blank, and I knew yes. I started looking for that exposure rather than trying to do the next certification and the
mm,
next exam, the next this. So number five is also you want to look out for breakout opportunities. For me, the breakout opportunity was the MVP award. So I got it in 2014. I
mm,
never thought I would get it because I didn't know anybody who has gotten it in Nigeria personally. I only knew two people who I saw on the MVP page. And one person had got it for like God knows, Mr. Shea knows him very well. I think he's worked together with him for like
mm,
maybe since 1990 something, and then the other person, I don't even know what it looks like. He didn't put his picture on the. So I didn't get any guidance. I just like, when they say shoot your shot, that was what I did. And when I got the award letter, I thought it was like, fake. I started checking.
You thought it was like a scam, like you
Yeah,
got a scam
yeah. You
letter.
know how you check the actual sender? Was he actually from Microsoft?
Yeah.
And then I go and sleep and wake up. Maybe when I sleep and wake up, maybe my inbox will be back to normal. But that was one of my breakout opportunities. So you want to like just keep randomly trying some next level things you never really think you can attain, but just give it a try. And one of them might happen and it will just move you completely like a quantum leap. So number 6 is, yeah, in addition to beyond what you can reach, beyond, take for instance, like for me, I decided to look at people who have gone ahead in the path I'm doing. And you see some of them, they are in environments like where Kofi is, where David is, where the UK, a lot of resources. And you're like, oh, David has written like 2 awesome books. You hold me. I still am waiting for the pancake, no, the banana. This thing.
The
So I'm still
banana
going
cake of my wife,
banana
right?
cake. Yeah, yeah. So even if I'll do go host me to go fund me to get it, play ticket to come collect it. But the key thing is, I look at them and you think, oh, he has a lot of resources, that's why he's doing that. But then you begin to say, okay, how can I also get there with my own, like, be able to get help and all? So you take intelligent risks, you go up beyond your immediate reach, and to capital, who you know is what you know, right? So you want to connect to people in the community, people who are doing awesome things, and that's the summary. Actually, I will share the link
Wow.
of this because it's a lot. Every time I read it, I keep thinking like I'm still far behind, but I will share the link. So that's my own answer, kind of. Thank
Wow,
you very
that's
much.
that's a lot of very useful information. So there are some things that you mentioned that I've put in the chat window. So like one of the key things that you mentioned right now that really really stuck to me, sort of, um like when you said, yes, build yourself technically, but that is not sufficient. You also have to have exposure. You also have to be connected to a community. You have to look for a way to get your name out there beyond just building yourself technically, right? And such an amazing point. Mr. Sheyi, I can see that you're back now. So I think I'll hand over to you to carry on. We're yet to hear Mr. Afiz's answer.
No, no, no.
So, yeah.
I,
So
I'm enjoying the vibe. I'm also learning something. Keep reaching to the highest points. Don't ever look at where you are or what you currently have. Ensure that you reach out for the best. So that's just what I'm getting from Michael. You just shoot your shots. He just shot his shot and it was there. And that is what somebody needs. Don't give up. Maybe you are trying to curve into IT and you are looking at, okay, you are not sufficient in terms of your career knowledge. And one thing he made and emphasized on is that you might be very technically good, but you being an asset to the world depend on how you enrich yourself with your network, you reach out for better statements, and you brand yourself for the world to see you. That's just what I think. So, Mr. Babatunde, I call you Mr. Shaki Man. Mr. Shaki Man. This is a very rough guy. When I met him, he was just determined to make something about himself, about IT. And I don't want to tell your story. You can tell your story. The first person I know that went to Shaki, Shaki is a suburb of your state. That's one of the states in Nigeria. And he was able to think even the local government chairman and even some of the prominent people in terms of the government official to see what IT can do for them. He brought his own resources there, the network, the internet, and they saw what Azure could do. And you remember about that minister said, he said, he wants you to come to your state now, because they see impact of technology. Please tell your story yourself. where you are now. How did you get here?
Okay. Thanks for the opportunity. I think it's been good so far. Let me say, and it has been challenging for a while. So in every aspect of life, you have to face a lot of challenge. Let me say, I came from a family of maybe whereby my dad feel like, oh, you have to go and learn something, handwork, during my secondary school days, and it was like, go and learn how to all these iron iron bending or something like that. So I feel like, no, this is not my way. And it took me to my uncle, like, oh, you should be living with him because I don't stay around. My dad used to travel a lot. He traveled outside the country. Okay, you should be living with your uncle since I'm not around. Okay, I stayed there. Immediately after my secondary school, I just feel like, oh, I need to learn something about computer. I started. When you're learning something and you are feeling like, oh, how did they do this thing? You are using Facebook now. You are trying, okay, who built Facebook? How did they get into that? You'll be thinking like, no, you are not just a consumer. You want to be you want to produce something on by yourself for people to use the way you are using someone's applications. So after I learned computer for like 9 months, during that period, my boss, we used to fight a lot. She's a lady. I will I will spoil our office system, and I'll be the one to fix it back with the means of, oh, just go online, check internet, how can you fix so thing. I started installing operating system in the while I was still learning how to use Microsoft Office and CorelDRAW back then. So getting to my university, I just feel like I met, in this part, you need a mentor. You need someone to teach, like, not to teach you everything, but just to guide you about how everything works. You might be able to kind of, learn, even go online by yourself and see a lot of resources, put it together, be able to code, be able to do a lot of things with, let me say, for instance, in the area of data analytics, you can be able to do maybe Microsoft Excel, Power BI. Probably you know how to use them, but you might not know how to implement them, maybe for a project. So after meeting one of my mentor, his name is Abdullah Yusuf. We call him Diwa. During my school days in my university, he trained us on how to build web application. So we started with HTML, CSS, after CSS, JavaScript, PHP, MySQL. So I and one of my friends and I were able to kind of struggle with, even we had to wait. We have that curiosity, like, no, we just want to know this thing. We just want to know everything about technology. We want to know this guy we are looking up to is very good in system security, is very good in web application, is very good in software development. We also should be able to do something like him. So we kind of trying to replicate whatever he's doing in his life. We follow him like bomber to bomber, like, Oga, where are you going? Let's follow you. Let's follow you. Where are you going? Okay. Do you have this software? We want to use it. Anytime this man is coding, we stay at his back, looking at what he's doing. So after that, at least 2014, if one of my friend, my friend, he was able to secure a contract with Nigeria Immigration. We worked together. We wrote their policy for human resources, and we built application for human resources. I think that's what they are still using today at Nigeria Immigration Service up to today. So we built the application together, and it was so like awesome experience for both of us. And after that, I was able to secure a contract too, which is school portal in 2015. And during this period, we were still in school. We haven't graduated from university.
Wow. Wow.
We were still in school.
Wow.
So I also secured the contract, like, oh, come and build complete school portal. We were able to come up with idea. We came up with the policy, how they made their payment, everything, and it was boom for us. So we were so happy, like, oh, this is what we can do, and so on like that. But the feeling like, oh, you build application and people are using it out there. You even though you give it out for free, you'll be happy.
Mm.
You'll be happy. So, and the same way when I met Ayodeji Folani, when I came to Lagos, I met Ayodeji. I had to learn everything. That Ayodeji, I have to know what he's doing.
Mm.
So I also follow Ayodeji up and down, call him, sometimes message him online, every time. And that was how I get into data analytics. And after all, I have basic background in database administration, admin. So I combine all this knowledge together, and this is what is still helping me up to today. So, for this part, I believe that for you to learn, you have to have that curiosity, like, oh, I want to know how this thing works. The passion, everything, you motivate yourself. Look at people, connect with people online, and see what you can do. So, like a friend of mine, I received his call this afternoon. He told me that he went for an interview as a data analyst. This guy started last month, and he even posted on LinkedIn. He posted about his story. We graduated together, but he hasn't gotten any job ever since we graduated from 2015. But last month, when I went to their state, I went to Kwara State. Guy, you need to do something for your life. You are a computer science graduate. You have to do something. I took him to a shop where he got his laptop. After that, he started learning data analytics. I gave him all the resources. And if you see this guy today, he built a lot of dashboard within, like, it's not up to 2 months now. And like 2 companies called him for interview yesterday and today. So they called him just because after learning, he made himself visible on LinkedIn. People were able to connect with him. People were able to, how did you do this? How did you do that? People started chatting him up. And in out to them, see, I'm just a learner. I also have a mentor. So you can connect with my mentor. So I think that's the whole story. And like for instance, I do test. There was a time I told Seyi about my story while I was in service. I was posted to a secondary school, and they were like, "Oh, you need to take a computer science as a teacher." I said, "I don't have teaching experience. Instead of me serving your school, let me just give you a software to manage your school, and that will be my service for you in this school." Which I did. I gave them school management software, which I built myself, and up to today, they still call me for the past 5 years. I still have my impact in that school. And whenever so far the system is still working for them. So I think for me, the journey has been good and is awesome. So
Wow.
and for everybody, I would just urge
Yeah.
you, like, okay, if you have interest,
Yeah.
try to take someone as your mentor.
Wow.
Follow them, let them know what they are doing. You also replicate what they are doing.
Mm.
Don't be kind of a person that will be, what if you are talking so place? People will feel like, no, you don't do this, you don't do that. No,
Mm.
you have to, even for instance, I used to tell one of my friends when during that time he was learning how to drive. If your manual car stop on the road, don't be afraid. Those who are coming behind you, there was a day they were also learning. They don't know it how to do it before.
Mm.
So whatever you are doing, learn it. Make sure you join. You have a mentor, and also don't be afraid. Like my first proposal, I wrote that proposal. I submitted it. They called me to come and defend the proposal. I was still in school while defending the proposal, and my opponent, coming from another company, has 10 years experience in the field.
Yeah.
And I was still able to win him. I won the guy that day. Like people were saying, like, this guy is talking from experience, as if I have a lot of experience. And the guy has been in the system for a decade while he was introducing himself.
Yeah.
So that's
That
my
that's an amazing story. Mr. Sheyi, what's
That's
your
raw.
reaction? Yeah.
That's raw. Very raw.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
if you get from what Afi said, one thing that I captured there, he was a determined person.
Mm,
Now, he ensured that his roadmap to his career path started way back because he has a passion. He already sought to get a mentor in the school environment, and he started building application from school. So if you are out there, you are still in polytechnic, you are in university, and you know this is your passion, don't just sit down there. Think of what you can do to renovate and make a change. And that is what we are seeing in this grassroots movement.
mm,
Always be at the point to make change.
mm,
To make change.
mm,
Now, and that brings me another question here. Now, and that is going to Kofi. Now, when we try to marry Afis, I call him Shakiman. You now see why I call him a Shakiman. A Shakiman is he mentioned is he follow people, he follow his mentor bomber to bomber. Do you know
mm.
in vernacular in
Yeah.
vernacular that means he was precisely following his mentor,
Mm,
following what the mentor is doing,
mm,
ensuring that the mentor, whatever step the mentor take, he takes it. Now,
mm,
Kofi, I know you're in the part of the world, and we can't compare. We are here in Africa, but I know the blood is blood. You are a brother, you are the
mm,
boss, and what do you think you can encourage us in terms of building innovation? Yes. Now, what Afi did, he
mm,
ensured that he could sit down as a graduate. He was shooting out in job right from school, and that was a bold, and that's why I'm here. That we can have that kind of boldness for all our undergraduates on this call, whether you're in the Polytechnic College of
mm,
Education and you have passion for computer, you can start doing something to make a change in this country. Gone are the day that
mm.
we have people that are known for frivolous and criminal intention. We can do something. So, Kofi, what do you feel you can give us as an encouragement for innovation?
Well, I mean, you said it all. I mean, essentially, you have to look at it this way as well. Most of these, let's say Facebook, Apple, all these companies, right? They innovate to keep themselves in this industry, right?
Mm,
So you as a person, so you need to continuously innovate, and you can also look at it this way as well, right? When you pray to God, when you talk to God, right? So I mean, when you pray, it's like you are talking to God, right?
mm,
But sometimes you have intuition. You see something, you think about an idea. It's, oh, I have to do this.
mm,
Is God talking to you? Something unique that probably have not been implemented before,
mm,
even in your
Mm,
normal industry. If you are working already,
mm,
there'll be certain things that you might think about that is not
mm,
being used in your current role or in your current company.
mm,
Those unique ideas go a long way because just creating that idea.
mm,
I know Afiz mentioned obviously he went to this school during his service and
mm,
just that software.
mm,
What look at what it created. It created a connection whereby
mm,
they still
mm,
reach out to him. Those things are extremely essential, making sure
mm,
that you have that value by sharing that value to others as well,
mm,
right? And it's important that you listen to that inner signal that make you make the right choices, right?
mm,
Trust the intuition voice
mm,
and go with them, right? Because with that, that will give you that determination to continuously push, and then success will definitely come knocking on your doorstep.
mm.
mm. All right, great.
Wow.
Um,
Wow.
Inas, very, very precise. Michael, now I'm coming to you now. And how do you encourage us, especially to create innovation idea? We are from what Afis, he was in school, very innovative. He looked for where there's problem. Even when he was serving, he knew that school had a problem, and he could use his knowledge to create a solution to solve the school problem. So it's not about, as you said earlier, it's not about whether you're very technically sound, it's how you can navigate with your network and ensure you bring something on the table. So what can you encourage us in terms of innovation?
Okay, and everything I'm also going to say is going to draw out of the answers others have given, because the truth is, innovation is purely combining what you know with into solving a problem that exists where you are. So you need to have knowledge, which the more you learn, the more you know, and then also apply, be in an environment that you are able to identify issues, identify problems that your knowledge can fix. So for me, I'll say to get innovative ideas, well, there will be some people who they are talented, like they don't even need any external input. They can sleep and wake and come up with a solution to a problem that is innovative.
Inner
But we are
voice.
all,
Yeah.
yeah, but we are all not Steve Jobs. We are all not Elon Musk. We are all not, even they, when they explain their how they come about their innovative ideas, they will say connect the dots. That's what Steve Jobs will say. He'll say, go to this class, go to that, connect things that normally look disparate, that people don't normally see a connection between. And so for me, I think the more you put yourself out there, the more you try to apply what you know, the more you prioritize learning over earning, because at first you need to be willing to learn, not always want people to pay you for every single thing. That's the way you get to see things other people don't see. That's the way you get to be involved in things where HR have not crafted a role for. And then that's how you'll be able to come up with ideas with so application of your knowledge to achieve things that people will now look back and say, oh, that was really innovative. So that's my answer. Thank you.
Hmm. You mentioned something. I put it down. David, I thought you saw it.
Yeah, I saw
He
that.
said
That was
learning
yeah.
over
Over
earning.
any.
Now, this what you call you learning over
Over
earning. Now, that's one basic problem we have for young aspirants here in Africa, especially we look at can gain the media and carve out to make a change. And it's maybe because of our societal, our environment, our ideology, and this has creep in and destroy a lot of things. Learning is good, but learning is the best. Thank you, David, and thank you, Michael. Rather, the next question that we want to is going to Afis now, and that question is to look at some case scenario and being able to use that as a way you want to tell others what to do. Everybody has a style. Now, you understand the style of Kofi. Now, look at the way Kofi started his technological reach, technology development. He saw a computer. He was inquisitive. He wants to know what is the makeup of this box my daddy bought in. You understand? And he started inquisitive, brought passion brought reality. Today is one of
that sort of inquisitiveness got me like into trouble when I remember I just remember a coffee story when I broke like something I was investigating. No, I'm only kidding. Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Shea.
yeah. And from Michael's own point of view, having a steady focus, ensuring you are reaching out, launching out, branding yourself. Now, I've now brought a new brand of it, a new way. Follow your mentor bomba to bomba. That is his word. Now, Afis, what style? Now, What is your style? What can you tell young guys over there that want to go into? What is your personal style?
Okay, I think my own way of learning and my own way of thinking might be different, but for me, it's still general to every one of us. Like, for instance, you are ready to learn something new, you have to be focused. That's first thing. And like Michael said, like any learning over any, I could remember like I built some application for free. I don't care what it took me to even achieve that project. But like for instance, a friend of mine was in final year, I was in 300 level. And I asked this guy, what's your project topic? The guy gave me, because in my school, you have to build a software as a graduate of from computer science or information technology. You have to build a software as your project, and the software must work, and you must be able to defend it. So this guy gave me his project topic. Then back then I was still using .NET, .NET, Phoebe.net back then. So I was able to come up with an idea and solve this solution. And this guy got A in his project. I felt so when the guy told me that day, I feel like no, I was so kind of satisfied with what I had that day. Like, no, even though you are not giving me money, I built this project for you and you were able to defend it irrespective of your maybe you did not contributed to this. The guy just gave me the system analysis, like okay, this is how he wants it to work. And I was able to use my Phoebe.net back then to do what? To solve the problem. And this guy got A. Ever since then, I feel like no, that means I can do a lot of things on my own. Now, these days now, we have front-end developer, we have back-end developer, we have UI UX designer, and we also have, okay, and you also have maybe graphic designer who support each other to achieve probably web application. But back then, I learned from HTML to CSS how to design. I will be the front-end developer, I will be the back-end developer, I will build my database myself. So, it's a gradual process actually, but and it's very hard. But for me, I don't like reading. I don't like reading. Most of us, like maybe if you read one page of book, you'll be feeling sleeping. So I don't like reading. I will just go to YouTube, search for video, how to do this. So I use YouTube to learn most of what I was able to achieve in technology today. I use YouTube. Back then, I think I have access to internet in my school. I have free internet. I will just keep downloading tutorials on my 500 gig hard drive full. So I was able to kind of use that YouTube opportunity to learn a lot of things. Even though while I was in school, when they give us handouts, I might not do read the handout. Asking questions, I would use the practical orientation to answer questions. And I know most lecturers, especially in our environment here, they like garbage in, garbage out. I was opportune. Most of my lecturers while I was in school, they were Indians and Egyptians. So I would just give them practical uh, experience on my answer sheet, and they are marking it for me. Irrespective that I don't like reading, I graduated with a good grade, almost first class student. But unfortunately, you know, I can't get it all. So that's kind of a way I use to kind of gather my own knowledge. So if you're out there trying to learn something, just look at the best way for yourself. Do you like reading?
Mm.
Pick one. Are you the type that read ebook very well? You like novel? Okay, probably go for ebooks. And if you like video, you like seeing what you are doing, go for YouTube. Go there, go and download. No matter whatever you want to do, it's just for you to add your own innovation to whatever what we want to do. There's a lot of things people have built solution for you online. Just add your own creativity, add it to whatever you are building, and kind of package it very well to the society where you found yourself. So I think that's my own way.
Okay. Now, I, I'm going to ask some random question, and I want the our guest to give us. I don't know. Am I echoing?
No,
Yes,
it's-
yes, yes.
Yeah, a little bit, but I think it's okay.
Okay. So I just want short answer because of our time. The first question goes to Michael. Do you have a mentor? How have that influenced you?
Okay. So the answer is I don't know where I'm going to. Okay. So, but can you confirm if it's not so bothersome to people?
Okay, that's strange. Because I
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
hear any echo from my hand.
Yeah,
Okay,
my end.
I can.
Ah.
Wow.
Are you on YouTube?
So I'm just hearing directly from here, and I can't hear any echo.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear the echo.
Oh, you can hear the echo also.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
okay.
can hear you too.
Okay. Let me keep answering then.
Oh, okay,
I'll
somebody
try
said
to
to
adjust.
mute one device, so maybe let's go and see if we can mute some devices. Do you still hear the echo?
No,
No,
no.
no from
Took it up.
It's still there. Let me mute.
Do you hear the echo?
No, I don't hear any echo. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, let's reduce the volume.
Oh, so maybe if all of us mute except Vivid, let's see. Then David should say something. We can test. I'm muting now.
Hello. Can you hear me? And do you hear any echo? So if our audience can also confirm, can you hear any echo when I'm speaking? Can you hear any echo when I'm speaking?
Actually, I'm not hearing any echo.
Any echo? Yeah. Okay.
But right now, I'm hearing echo.
So if I mute myself and then
Okay.
you speak, let's try that.
Okay, let's try. Okay, so any echo?
Yeah, echo.
Good. Maybe it's from
What
my
about
end.
now? Can you still hear any echo?
I think it's better now.
Oh, okay.
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 All
So I feel okay. I see. I think I see what may have gone wrong. So when I shared my screen the last time, I shared my screen with the system audio on. So, but okay, yeah, good. Okay, sorry. Let's carry on. Sorry.
All right. So to answer the question, do I have a mentor? How have they influenced me? My answer is yes, I have a mentor, but not in the usual mentor way. So I'm more of a person who like I'm not a people's person, so I'm not very good at relating with people. That was why when that my boss said exposure is what I need rather than the technical thing I keep going after. I'm reading book, exams, trainings, and all. I kind of got the message loud and clear. So, but the other side of not being a people person is I'm careful with having personal relationship with people on a deep level where when they say something, I become unable to objectively check it out, and I'll just do it out of respect for the person. You're like, oh, it's the person that is high up, he said it. I don't do any validation, any serious check, so that it doesn't like ask me next month and say, okay, how far with what I've said, and then I'm like saying sorry. Because of that, I have a different way I do my own mentorship. I look at people who have done what I want to do, and from afar, sometimes when I'm stuck at some stage, I get in contact with them and ask them for specific help. But not that I just walk into their life and just like worship them, and then everything they say I just copy paste verbatim. So that's the way so with that approach, I can say I have a lot of mentors. So I have Mr. Sheyi in the networking side. I have now I have Oga David too in the book side. So I'm
All of
hoping
us are all Mr. Sheyi. Mine is I have Mr. Kofi, it's my gold mentor, and I have got Mr. Sheyi for every other thing. So
okay. And then maybe I should add Oga Kofi, Sir
Yeah.
Kofi on the
gold,
night shift
man.
part. No,
Gold and
it's the night
business.
shift. I don't yet know about the goat, so I'm thinking maybe I grab him for the one I yet know about. So that's the and how have they influenced me? Every decision, everything I want to do, like currently now, I just that I can't say it because it's a bit personal, but there's something that's like a big deal for me that I'm doing right now. That in doing it, I think I know all these processes, all these steps. I read as much as I could. But what did I do? I went online to search for people who have done that thing. I reached out to them. Not everybody replied, about the few who replied, but what they gave me as guidance and direct step, even sharing their own personal files and what they did with me, was something I would never would have gotten if I kept reading books online, going on my own. So I will say, how have they influenced me? Everything that anybody looks at my profile and see that I've achieved, those are the works of my mentor, because every single thing I achieved, it was somebody told me, Michael, do this. Michael, this is how I did it. And then I kind of just use what they shared to do it. So that's my answer to that question. Thank you.
Okay. Sir Kofi, now coming to you, the good man. How and where do you find inspiration? Say you are the good man. How do you find this inspiration when it comes to
Well,
cybersecurity, IT generally?
well, inspiration is what you guys are doing right now. This is
Mm,
inspires everyone because essentially, what you're doing is obviously having a positive impact with the upcoming generation, which is extremely inspiring, right? So when I see things like that, it actually drives me to obviously to also try to share more to others. I mean, I do this kind of like community Azure community thing with say David, and it's out of these sort of things that Towel you've been doing. It's something that you realize that when you see you want to be part of it because you want to make sure that you inspire others as well. So for me, it's all about people having that commitment and then having that willingness to pass on the knowledge to others. Actually, inspire me to learn more and also become a facilitator to obviously pass the information I've learned as well. I mean, wherever you learn, there are multiple ways you can share blog, YouTube video, all these things are inspiring and it will help others as well. So that's what inspires me.
that's correct. Inspired by what you see and what cheer you up.
Yeah.
Now, I have another question, Feast, and the question is, if you happen to get a different opportunity, from your story, you started off trying to get to know computer, you got into department, you wrote several change to your own life in terms of building application for the school, for where you serve. Now, if you have a better opportunity, will you do something different? Will you do something if they give you another opportunity in life? How do you think you can channel what you currently do now?
Okay, okay. Uh, Let me say this. The major opportunity you need to have based on our country now is probably they give you a kind of environment, conducive environment. You
Mm,
understand? So probably let me say what changed my story based on what I've been doing is due to the environment where I found myself while I was in school. I was able to mingle with Indians, Egyptians, those that I know that we watch movies, we know what they are doing, whether it's lie or they are lying to us or it's reality. Okay, let's see if it is true or not. So for me now, if all of us, if everybody, let me say everyone, maybe environment where you find yourself, determine how you think. Let's say for instance, there's electricity and there's internet 247 in where you are. You have your computer, you'll be always be thinking like, let me go online, let me go and check what is happening there. And I think that's the major problem we are having in our society now. When maybe probably you enter a city now or you enter a community, there's no light. Who will have access to internet? Probably, let me say computer. Even though if you have laptop, a time will come that your backup will go off. And during that period, even though you are thinking of to do something new before, you just keep relaxing, and so if for me, for instance, now I found myself in an environment where I feel okay, I feel conducive. Yeah, that's will now bring more innovation. Like, okay, what can you do? Okay,
Hmm.
you have everything
So,
you needed. So let me just stop that.
okay,
So
what I'm
let me
getting from you.
let me tell you something. We have more MCT in Shaki now.
Wow.
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 So how did you do it?
So we have like two MCTs now, and we also have Azure Fundamental and some other courses like that. People have been doing certification.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Certification.
Yes.
That's really great news. Hiring. And just as I'm trying to explain this environment called Shaki. If you have been to Nigeria and you have been to your state, this is not Ibadan or or Lagos. This like I don't know how Sakofi and David look at it, like your suburb. Now, when you say your suburb is like our own main city, what will be our own suburb to look like? And what Babatunde is saying now is that the inspiration he had changing the course of thing in that grassroots. We have people that are already certified trainer, we have people that are certified administrator, and even people that are already going for fundamental in Azure. Despite all the odds, it's really inspiring. Keep it up, Babatunde. We feel you. Now,
Thank you.
finally, before we go for a break now, I want to ask, I don't know, any of you can take this question. Um, um, do you have any book that you want to
Hmm.
suggest for people to read? Like Tunde said, he said some of us are used to reading, just like Michael. If you see Michael, you know he's a few way. Sorry, the vernacular. A few way is somebody that reads often,
You
and
can tell as Michael is speaking, I was like, you can tell that, it's a
yeah,
very, very
he's like
deep
a
thought type
bookworm.
person. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, and maybe he can just give us one after the other what you can say to people to inspire them. Maybe the book they can read, or maybe the video they can watch, or something that you owed on and was able to inspire you to the next stage of your life. So we can start with Michael.
Okay, thanks a lot for all the kind words. It's always an honor to be praised by great men. So for books, the truth from my side is I make reading a habit. I read anything, and the reason why I do that is everybody that has greatly influenced my life, they always they all say that reading for them was a big deal, was something that made them who they are now. So, and the thing they always also say is that not reading a particular type of book, but reading generally. I'm a subscriber to Gates Notes. Bill Gates at this stage in his life is someone who you think should not even do anything in life anymore and just be thinking of how to spend his money rather than trying to learn anything anymore. But then he keeps sending us newsletters and saying, "Oh, one of his favorite authors has published something new." And what has the person published? The person wrote about history of the world in the last 1,000. You're like, what am I to do? You should be. If someone that is in tech, should he not be sending me something about what the future of tech is going to be?
Mm,
But you
mm,
see, people who have a rich life, because the truth is books are ways where you are getting sucked into lives of not people present just now, but people even 100 years ago, 1,000 years ago, the same way we read the Bible and we have a feeling of what it was like then. And so the same way too, when you read books written across different domains, different time in the world, you get a richer life, which will definitely reflect in every aspect of your life, personal life, your corporate world, your professional life. So I would say, as long as a book that is not to make you become an evil person, then please read the book.
Mm.
Yeah, read all books,
Okay.
newspaper, and all.
Also, do you have any book that you have written? Although you say you are getting your inspiration now from David, so we hope that you get your book out there, and we'll bring you one of these days to come and share your book
I,
and tell us
actually,
with
I
discount.
have okay. I have three books. I have a
Okay,
novel,
great.
Wow.
Okay.
and I also have a book on Power BI, and I have a book on Excel.
Are you able
So
to
I have
share
them.
the links so that we can share the links out?
Let's share the link. Let's
Okay.
share it to the viewers. They
Okay.
want to read your books. So, Sir Kofi,
Okay.
let's come to you. Do you have any book that you want to recommend, or do you have a personal book you have written and you want people to also share from your knowledge and your experience?
Well, I don't have any book written, but a book that I would recommend is Everyday Wisdom by Wayne Dyer. It's also a
Okay.
motivational book. So
Okay.
it's really, really inspiring. It tells you a lot about life and perspective, how you should go on about your daily life. It's really, really helpful. It's not IT related, but it will definitely turn your mind on, and then it will be helpful in your in your career. It helps you a lot, definitely.
Okay. That's great. I think Babatunde is off. I can't find him again on the call. We will. Can you project also Michael's books so that
Yep.
anybody out there that wants to go and read his book, get his book, can just go and try to sort. We have we're going to going for a break now before we bring our guests back for a final word, and we close for today. Sorry, we had some technical issue. We started late, and we are trying to meet up with time in case we shoot a little bit out of our speculated time as advertised. Just bear with us. So we're going for a break, and when we're going to showcase a particular. We have a new corner in this our series called Innovation Corner. Now, this corner is where we go to the grassroots, go to people that are trying to make change, like what Babatunde said he did in Shaki. And we met someone which we're going to talk about shortly. David,
Yep.
can we just project Shei? Unfortunately, he's bearing my name. His name is Shei Davids. And Sheyi Davids, I met him in this community work also. After having conversation with him, I saw the passion for him. And recently we got talking, and he was telling me what he's doing. Now, Sheyi, can we go to the next slide? Sheyi has a passion. Now, is looking at the technical education aspect of Nigeria, which is the Polytechnic, the College of Education, and he saw that most of them leave school without having basic skill that can be used in the market. So his program objective was to build Microsoft Cloud, especially the M365, build it as a package for Nigerian polytechnics, in making them a ready-made fit SMA before they leave school. Now, his vision is to provide this cloud technology by training these Nigerian polytechnic students and empowering them. Now, Sheyi comes from Kogi State. Kogi State is one of the states in Nigeria. He's married, and he also went to the same system. He has an HND in computer science, and he has been working in the IT industry for 7 years, bagging several certification. Currently, Sheyi heads his own company, which is Olis Tech Consult. And Shay, if you are right there, can you tell us about yourself, your vision? Because this innovation corner, we want to know what your dream is and why you are coming up with this concept.
Oh, your mic
You
is
are
muted,
muted.
Shay.
Shay, your mic is muted.
So if you check the lower part of the screen and look for the mute button and make sure that it's set to unmute the microphone. Oh no.
We can't still hear you. There is a button in the lower part of the screen. You just click on it. There is a icon of mic.
Okay, I'll bring Shay back in. Let me do that. And
Okay.
let's see. Does that help, Shay? Also, you can check the settings and make sure that you have the right microphone selected, Shay. So just check the settings, make sure you have the right microphone selected.
So while Shay is still trying to sort that, David, can we now? We also have we always roll our mentors. Mentors are people that have been speaking with people that are speak on technology in our community. People that we know that when you talk to, they're able to guide you on what you need to know and how you need to go about technology. And they are spoken in several of our community events. Please, can you roll our mentors? Let's just see all of
Yes.
them.
So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to have some
Yes, while
background
we wait for
music
Shay.
playing. Yep. I'll have some background music playing while we do that also.
Okay, good.
So let's go ahead and do this.
Thank you, David, for that. Shay, can we hear you now?
So also just to mention to all people that just watched that. So so the slides did move a bit too fast, but we do encourage you to just reverse back after this session. Just reverse back the video, and you'll be able to see information about the different mentors. So the whole goal about this is, if you see someone whose description matches something that you like to do in IT, so maybe they're in data like Mr. Michael, maybe they're in cybersecurity like Ms. Sir Kofi, or maybe they're in development like Mr. Hafiz that we had earlier. You can look for their information and just reach out to them on LinkedIn and just connect to them. So that's the goal that we have for the previous slides. Okay.
Okay, thank you,
Okay,
David.
thank you, David.
Shay, can we hear you
Uh,
now?
am I
Am I
audible
audible
now?
now?
Yes.
Yes.
I
I
think I
think
could
I could
still
still
send
send
some
some
echo
echo
in.
in.
So I'll stop sharing my screen. So I think that may be coming from there. So I'll stop sharing my screen now.
All right. Thank you very much for this wonderful opportunity. My name is Oluwase Davis, and yeah, it has not been an easy task, being an IT guy. I graduated from Moshu Polytechnic, and yeah, one of the best institution in Nigeria, I would say, because it actually opened my eyes to a lot of things, to become whatever I am today. Uh, you know, the institution actually believes all computer science student needs to be a programmer. The institutions, like the other guy said, does not believe in developing an IT, a network career person, or probably database administrator. You just need to be a programmer. You just need to write source code, as your final year project. And that has actually affected a lot of students in the polytechnic. Some who has passion in networking, couldn't go into networking because they have been forced into programming. I had I didn't have the passion for programming actually, but I had to learn programming because I wanted to write my project myself. I'm this kind of person that I would not pay a dime to someone to help me do something. I prefer to do it myself. So I started as a Visual Basic.NET programmer and later moved to C Sharp. I moved to web development using ASP.NET, Microsoft SQL Server for my database connection, things like that. But I knew I was wasting away. So at the point going to for NYSC, I decided to look up to my mentor. My mentor was we call him Chief. He happens to be someone who trained me in terms of networking, that I became a network administrator. After my NYC, I realized that that was not my passion. That was not what I love to do. So thank God I got an opportunity to work with Tech Expert Nigeria. That was where my cloud computing career started. So I worked as level two support engineer on Microsoft 365. It was there I started writing my certifications. I had the opportunity to work with Microsoft customers. I had the opportunity to resolve technical cases. And at the point, I became a technical lead where I work on the escalated cases. I conduct several triages and things like that. And at a point, I got tired. I just wanted to be on my own. I wanted to make impact. I wanted to go into technical support line. So I had to resign, set up my company from the scratch. Though it's a remote company where I remotely support customers across the globe. So I became a full-time freelancer. I work as a Microsoft freelance agent via Upwork, where I became a OneDrive subject matter expert. However, I believe the experiences I've gathered, my situations actually matters a lot to me. I don't want that to repeat itself in that same institution. So I decided to um, go into training. Okay, I want to develop guys in school. I want to assist them, to know their career path. And I believe the world is actually going to cloud computing. So I needed to build subject matter expert from the institution, even before they go for their NYC. So I discussed my vision with Sashay, and it was like, okay, this is something we can actually work on. Because I just want to help the school system. I want to change the management orientation. Students don't have to be programmers. We can't all just be programmers. Some are destined to be network admin, some are destined to be cloud architect, some are destined to be database expert. So we shouldn't find it's good to be a programmer, but we shouldn't have that inside, like that IQ. Everybody just needs to be a programmer. So this is why I've actually sacrificed myself, my time, just to help the school, the students, to achieve their dreams and also to pattern their footsteps towards the right path. So that's or what my vision is. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Shei, my namesake, Shei Davids. And I want to apologize to our viewers. We are shooted. We have gone beyond our speculated time. We apologize for that just because of some technical issue. And we were going to make sure that does not repeat itself on next episode. And we thank you, Shei. And what Shei is saying literally is that is trying to package a solution for if you're in the polytechnic, you're in the college of education, and you're in the computer department. And the way we have been structured in this part of the world is that you just go to computer science is like you're all going to be a programmer. And although programming is like the basis of development, but sometimes some people might want to be a network person, want to be an administrator, and that's what Shay want to fill in as his own community reach to the grassroots. And we appreciate your effort. As I said, we're going to support you in our ways, and we're going to also be on ground for you when you are doing that. So if you are out there and you are doing something great in the grassroots that people don't know, and you want us to amplify you, please, you can reach me or David and ensure you get our contact and let us try to amplify what you are doing and get support for you. David, do you have anything for Shay for what you have
I,
learned he's doing?
I think it's amazing. And again, like you said, again, the thing that you mentioned, which is what really has been inspiring me and driving me, which is the talent is in the grassroots. So we have people like Sheyi that has taken what they've learned and they're taking that back to the community to develop that, right? And that's how we sort of multiply this effect where we have like this generation of tech experts, right? People that are really in tune and that they can stand their ground on an international stage, right? And they can use this and take all the knowledge that you're getting, like Mr. Michael said, to now convert that to an energy to transform their communities, right? Just one step at a time. So again, that's awesome. I wish that many more people are going to catch the same attitude and the same passion that you're really displayed. So like great job, sir. Great job.
Great job, Jay. We also want to showcase our user group. We have several user group that is outshoot of our community, and just as Michael said, that one thing he notes and which he uses trying to network, and that might be a staging point for you to know what you want and how you want to navigate with your career. Now, we have several of this, which David's going to run because of our time. We have the security group, we have the Power BI group, and we have the Azure group, and we also have the database group. We have MCT Nigeria for the Power BI. If you are the Dynamics group, if you want to go into ERP and solution, this is the group. That is their WhatsApp group. We also have the Azure group, and the Azure we have several of them, and we also have the M365 group for those that want to build on Microsoft software as a service solution. And we have other group like um, the Power Platform, where we have all the power things, the low code, no code, runs from Power Mate, virtual agent, etc. We have other group like Power BI Michael, that is his own community. He works with the people. We have the data and AI user group, which comprises of those people in data space. And we also have if you're a lady and you want to get into IT, and for the ladies in the house, we're going to have all ladies program for our October edition. I'm going to bring some of those people in the picture to come and tell us their own story and how they get into IT. Now, if you have any question, we have exceeded our time, and we just want to close at 7 dots. So if you have any question, and you can just type those questions so that our guest that's still around can help us with the answering the question.
Yeah. So I do have like one question. So I can't see any question in the chat window yet, but I do have a
Okay.
question which is can be sort of like a final question for our guest also, which is, how do you balance, um, putting your effort into, you need to make money to look after your families, right? So putting effort into that versus preparing yourself for the next thing. Like, how do you balance that? Because you have to currently work to be able to make money to look after your family. That's the reality of the world. But at the same time, you're looking to contribute in these different communities. You're looking to impact the next generation, and you're also looking to keep yourself up to speed. How do you balance all of that together in our industry? So anyone can take that first.
Well, okay, I'll go first. Well, I mean, when it comes to that, I think it's very important that your partner have that support. I mean, if you get support from, let's say, your wife in that way, it helps, whereby she will understand. Okay, certain time of the day, you have to obviously do these things. For example, what I'm doing now, I spoke to my wife. Obviously, uh, she have to support. So when you have that level of support at home, is extremely helpful. That help you to focus on this, and you have to understand that if you have to do the community work, there's a lot you have to do, right? So and also your wife, you got kids, you have to know that as family you have to reserve time for that. So there are certain times you probably will have to ensure that you are spending time with the family, right? And when it comes to work as well, obviously you have no choice, especially if you work from 9 to 5. You have no choice. You just have to obviously do the choice. You need to then think about organization, making sure that you organize your life around the things that you do, the work, your family life, and also the community as well. Because all these things are helpful to uplift you as a person, because you contribute to the community is also in some way it will come in full circle. You benefit from it. You meet good people that are extremely knowledgeable, because obviously from the mentor list that you show is, I mean, the people in the list, they are extremely intelligent, and you learn from it. So you cannot say, okay, I'm going to take this out of my life. You need to ensure that you create that level of balance. But all these balance is all about organization, and obviously when you're married you have to obviously plan with your spouse that these are the things I have to do to help to progress my career. So if you're on board, it's going to help me and help you, and also my effort to help the community in some way will come in a full circle, which will also help us all to progress in life. Yeah.
Good. Thank you.
Okay.
David, I think there's a question. Michael, go ahead.
Okay. So for me, the answer to your question about how do I balance it, it's not. It's maybe not the best answer. I even think it's not a good answer. But the truth is, so what I do is family and health. So
Mm,
yes, I try to make sure I do my best in that. Then I'm working at breakneck speed. Like I look at myself, I'm like, it's better I have the energy and I'm working like maybe 18, 20 hours a day sometimes. Like I'm just when you work until you know if you go one more hour, you maybe just slump, then you now pause and then go to sleep. And so I'm like, well, now that I have the energy, let me push, let's see how far I can go. And sometimes like
mm,
2 weeks ago, I kind of got that, like I almost fainted. I went to the hospital, they said, we're going to admit me. I said, no, you can't admit me. I have work to do tomorrow. I have a training to do tomorrow. And, I was there in the hospital, argue with them till like 10 p.m. And then like, so, but what I'm doing in summary is, it's not the best answer, but again, I know the environment I'm in, and I know that you have to make things happen sometimes for yourself beyond what you see your peers in maybe a better environment are able to achieve in a shorter time. So for me, what I do is I enjoy what I do a lot. So I just think about it as, okay, let me work as much as I can and do as much as I can now that age and energy is on my side, ensure that it doesn't jeopardize family and health, try to get help from wife and other people on how to manage the family well. And then I am lucky that I don't have a child yet, but I heard that when child comes in, all your plans they go
your,
they go out the window. So
your
it's like
plan, your plan
You make
will
your
still be
plans.
there. You have to manage it, just as Kofi said. You just have to find a
yeah,
balance.
Yeah.
You just find a balance.
You
that's
might
my
have a
own
plan, but life is what's going to happen.
situation. So
So
that's
we
my
do have
own.
a question in the chat. Oh, thanks very much for that. We do have a question in the chat, and I think we can end with this, Ashayi. So Busirat Aziz asked a question. So she said, thank you for your presentation. So I think I echo the sentiment of the audience by extending that thanks to all our guests. So thanks very much. So she said, I realize a lot of career path is involved in IT. For someone in biomedical engineering field, which of these career paths will you recommend? So do you have any recommendation for someone in the biomedical
In
engineering field that's
biomedical
looking to
engineering.
transition to IT on what paths they should take, or how would you recommend them to choose a path?
Yeah, I think I can have a go at this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think at the end of the day, it's all about passion. I mean, if you're in the biomedical uh, engineering, I remember when I started, especially when I was in college, I did like a science-related course, and I was looking at something like this: biomedics, pharmacology, pharmacy angle. But I didn't have passion for it, but just that it looks like the traditional way. I mean, our parents they think about the traditional career path whereby they want you to become something medical, or they never think about IT. But me, I never had a passion for it. So if you have the passion for IT, I think at the end of the day, you have to start, right? A journey of a thousand miles start with one step, right? If you do have the passion, I'm telling you, this is the right time for you to obviously take that initiative. Just do it. That's it. Just do it, and then um, definitely what you realize is that even though you might think it's a longer journey, it's still that initial step will take you a long way.
Mr. Michael, I think let's look at this question from your angle. What what can you advise? Just recommending. But the basic thing Sir Kofi have said, you need Busirat, you need to understand your passion. Your passion, is it on the data side? Is it on the administration side? Is it on building applications? So once you identify your passion, then any recommendation can fit. But let's hear from the expert. Michael, what do you
Okay.
think? You know why? Because I know you're a data person. So this has kind of,
Yeah.
you can easily
Yeah.
try to juggle your brain and give
Okay.
several parts that she can actually
Uh,
look at.
okay. I might disappoint you a bit because they say if you give a hammer to someone, everything becomes a nail. And then if you go to your pastor for advice, obviously you end up getting a deliverance or a prayer section. So the thing is, if you're asking me for advice, then I would definitely tell you that yeah, you can combine data analytics and biomedicine. I see people who do
Yeah.
it, and it's a niche that you're like hot cake. It's a niche that sets you apart. And if you are someone who enjoys data, or you think it's not something you are not going to enjoy, You doing at that level of, I think at the height of what let me call it, biomedical engineering, at the height of it is going to be involving a lot of gene, what do you guys call it? Is this sequencing? I keep
Genomics.
hearing some grammars people say. It's a lot of data, AI, machine
Yes.
learning, about
Yeah.
pattern, about all these algorithms that identify some patterns, about even robotics and all of that. I think that's where the future of technology, of healthcare, in
Medicine.
terms
Yeah.
of the science, the developing of things that will do, maybe carry out surgery by them, automatically without anybody doing it. You are the ones, it's people in our field who do that. And any robot, I tell you, at the bedrock of robots is all data, it's just programming that is matched with machine learning and all. So if you're someone that you think you can go for it, combine that. In fact, just I should be trying to get your connect so that when you blow,
No,
I can be
I
able to
know
come.
that.
I can be
I
able
know that.
to come lay some claim on some percentage.
Yeah, yeah, and
Yeah.
I'll just add to what Sakofi and Mr. Michael already said. So he said, we can just human beings are different, right? We're all different, right? And my recommendation, in addition to what Sakofi and Sam Michael wonderfully stated, is try different things, right? And then see which one catches your attention. So try different things. So, like, I remember, like, if you remember, Sashi, there was a lady that we interviewed at the Microsoft Build conference, and she said, she went for this event and they were talking about programming, C Sharp and Python, and she was like, "Oh no, I'm in trouble." And then till somebody all of a sudden took her to like a conference for Power Platform, and they were like, he said, once she heard the word low code, no code, she was excited. She was like, whoa, okay, now we're talking. And now she does amazing thing with the Power Platform. So essentially, try different things, right? So don't be afraid to go, I went for that machine learning conference. That was really, really boring. Go there, do the hands-on workshop and go, I don't like that. Check that out. Go to the data one. See, I'm sure that Mr. Michael would love you to get involved in data. Try it, see if you like it. Try cybersecurity. Just go to different events, try different workshops, and then go, you know what? That one looks like interesting to me. And then just follow that. That would be my own addition to that.
Yeah. And crown this up, Basirat, if you are still hearing us, try to reach out, get the contact of David or myself, and or Michael, if you can just share their LinkedIn account, and Sir Kofi. Now, maybe if we have a closer talk with you, we might know where you are. She said she's an amateur. Did you see what she just said now?
Yeah.
Okay, we might get more from you to even guide you more, precisely. So David will share his contact for any of us, and just get in contact with us, and we can give you more guide when we hear where your passion lies and what you want to do. Okay, thank you everyone out there for being with us, in terms of our difficulty, in terms of our issue with our with our app here, and you have really stay with us, and we hope to give you the best next time. And uh, I just want final word from all the mentor here, all the speakers here, all the presenter here, and we just may uh, close for today. Final word to the viewers.
Okay. From me, I'll say that, like I mentioned there, that you need to do something you have passion for, because the truth is, think about it, your work, whatever career you choose now, that you have the energy, no child yet, I hope, and you have enough time to also read and prepare. Pick something you will enjoy, because at the point where money is not going to be your worry, it will be more about, do you enjoy what you are doing? Are you waking up and you're happy because you know you do what you love. Not that you wake up and you're like, oh, I'm back to this thing. When can I get out of this life? And every other person becomes like the burden of other lives become to you want to do something that will motivate you to even have energy, be a rock for you, that if every other thing is going wrong, you know that this is going right, and you get strength from it to fight other battles you meet in life. So that's for me one thing that I found out in choosing data, and I wish people will also enjoy it in their own choice of career.
All right. So from my side, I would say keep
Sir
learning.
Coffee.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yes, we
from our
can.
side, I would say keep learning new technologies. Just like Sir David said, if it's something that you're not trying to get your foot into the IT, just keep trying new things. I mean, initially it might not make sense, but you know how the human mind works, repetition. Keep banging on it, and then you realize that before you know something that you thought you never knew, it become something normal, and then you understand it. And so first you have the passion for it. That will definitely go a long way. If you want to take it to the next level, make sure you use the 21st century technology. These social media network, you can use that to help yourself. YouTube, LinkedIn, all these social media platform, wherever you learn, you blog about it, you make a video, you tweet about it. All these things will go a long way in your career. Most of these successful people, that's what they have are doing, because that's the technology that is obviously it's out there. It helps you to get a job as well, by the way. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Okay. Sir David, last word.
Oh, so I just want to say thank you very much to our amazing guest. There's a lot of wisdom that you've shared from Sarkofi to Mr. Michael to Mr. Fiz. Just amazing nuggets of wisdom. Mr. Shahid, thanks very much for putting this together. I'm happy when I see questions from our audience and our guests being able to help to answer that, and hopefully it inspires and helps someone. So again, just well done. Kudos to everyone. Thanks very much to the audience for joining us. And I can't wait to the next event where we have an all-female panel and we get to hear from our amazing ladies on their journey in technology.
Yeah. Finally, we say the grassroots is where the greatest talent is yet to be tapped. And we know, as we have this team of speakers that are guiding us in this wheel, we're going to transform our community to a better one. Have a lovely week, and we'll see you next month. Bye.
See you, everyone.
All right,
Bye.
guys.
Bye.
kò ṣẹrú kó wá sáyé ọmọ ọba ní kò ṣẹrú kó wá sáyé kò ṣẹ̀wọ̀n.